Hello, Kaba, Dusty, Tariyama, Missing No, Zoe, and Stijun. Oh, it's good to be back. And with zero dropped frames. I'll admit, I still kind of expected some things to go wrong, you know? Holy shit. It's good to be back. Let's put this music down a bit. There. Oh boy. So, I just want to check. I assume there's not really a ton of echo or anything currently, and my sound quality is okay. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And also, I think I'm coming through loud enough, yeah? I sure hope so. Always trying to adjust things and then listen back and yada yada yada. But there's only so much in testing I can do before just going live and hoping for the best. Nope on headphones. Alright. Glad to hear it. The office is still under assembly, so I'm hoping that sound quality will improve. Unfortunately, this last week has been hell, and every moment I'm not being assaulted by something, I have mostly just spent in a depressive spiral. Which, fair enough. No echo, that's good to hear. Because, yeah, I am in a room, without carpet, with 4 walls that are kind of slowly getting paved over. I'm trying. I can, in fact, go back to webcam at least here. But yeah, I still have a shitload of acoustic panels to put up. So it should hopefully improve in time, but I got it to acceptable levels. Game music might be a touch too loud. We can knock it down a little. 1/3. Voice quality will improve with padding. It will indeed. But, it is what it is. Still the best I see. Of course. I am watched over by Alexander the Great. You look really tired. Could be the shadow over your eyes. It's definitely the shadow over my eyes. I'm actually moderately well rested. Because holy shit, I just took so much copium last night. I really just broke down. I reached my fucking breaking point last night and just started huffing copium. It turned out to be worth, because the copium turned out to be hopium, which turned out to be reality. I got my internet before 11 a.m. today. It actually does help. It does, but it only buys you so much time. And once you start huffing it, you really are on borrowed time before you just have a mental breakdown. Which is not the good place you want to be, So, we're going to start off today with a little bit of story time as I set some things up, eh? Good thing. Hey, Assassin. Thank you very much for 57 long months. Meant the bad idea. I hope it's quite brutal, yeah. But yeah. So, I've seen very little of this game. It's a good game. I like it. We're not going to be jumping into it quite yet, but, I still want to get some things sorted out. I am going to be decorating the wall behind me here. Among other things, I have a copy of the Magna Carta ready to go. Because of course I do. Technically, it's a family heirloom. Uh, don't worry, it's not like one of the originals or something. Just my parents got it for like on their wedding honeymoon. Anyway, since they're long dead, and I inherited it, I'm like, I guess I should keep a few tokens and mementos and all that jazz. And perhaps unsurprisingly and fittingly, I have a copy of the Magna. Yeah, Assassin here. Actually, let me get it. Here it is. One copy of the Magna Carta. It's framed and everything. Hilarious with the OG thing and no one knew. Probably not. They sell them at like the Buckingham Palace museum. So, and yeah. So I do have a copy of the Magna Carta. You know, it really helps. What happens if the king rolls up and wants to deny me my goddamn rights? Well, that's what that's for. Anyway, of all the things to just randomly inherit, I did decide that that was the most me object. You know? Good to see that the tism is hereditary. Oh, as was the ADHD. Oh, man. No, my father just self-medicated his ADHD with a shitload of caffeine. Like 12 American cups of coffee a day. You know? For the rest of us, I think that's like 2.5 liters, give or take. Just everyone going, huh? Yep. Look, you want to work a high-profile corporate job in a time before, like, they have Ritalin, and a time before ADHD is even a diagnosable thing. That's just heart problem. Oh yeah, no, it gave him heart problems when he in his 50s. Like it fucked him up completely. Knox. He lived out the last couple years of his life with heart problems, arrhythmias, and an inability to drink caffeine. That crippled his ability to work. Against all odds, he lives. Yes. God. Where do I even start with the stories? Where do I even start today? Like, I have so much shit just swirling around in my head. The last 10 days has been a fucking nightmare. Like, even before I left, things were going wrong left, right, and center, you know? I don't know how that could have went. Yeah. No, don't worry, Voron. The cancer killed him before the heart problems did. The heart problems would have killed him. But the cancer just won the race. You know? Chronological. Wait, who died? Oh, my father, like, in 2015, give or take. No. We've been talking about things, Fanny. So, including the Magna Carta copy I have here, which I inherited from my dead parents, which is how we got onto that subject. That'll go up on the wall behind me at some point. Office is still under construction. Like I said, I'm dragging my feet because I spent the better part of the last week cripplingly depressed. But, so anyway, the packing goes okay for the most part. For the most part, we get to a couple days before leaving, and it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the Majora's Mask countdown. You know, you wake up, and it's like 3 days until move, 72 hours remain. You know, and oh boy. So my landlord's like, hey, so we're putting this unit back on the market. And you're also apparently at a moving company, yeah. We need to make like a copy of the keys and the fob and all that, you know, to put in a lockbox so people can come view the place. I'm like, sure, you do that. I'm home all day packing, you know, just come pick it up. So, one of the landlord's lackeys, because my landlord is taking like a real estate company, comes by, picks up my key and fob. And I ask him, so how long is it going to be? You know? And he's like, oh, probably like an hour, more than 30 minutes for sure. And so I'm like, cool, I've got time to grab some food. I go grab some food. You know, it takes me a round trip total time, including grabbing the food and eating it, was about 32 minutes. Before I'd even started heading back, the guy came back to drop off the key, and I'm just like, fuck it, just, you know, use the key, put it inside, it's whatever. So I get back there, and lo and behold, there's no fob. Now, since I was living in a tower, you know, a large, I think, what was it, 38 floor condo building, like, you know, it's fucking massive. It's got like secured everything, as you'd kind of expect. So while I could unlock my door, I could not get up the elevator. I bypassed that because like I can let visitors in using my phone, so I just can let myself in using my phone that way. But I can't access the parking garage. I can't access my storage locker, which, when you're packing, is very fucking important. You know? It turns out. Which kind of sucked. Kind of important, yeah. So basically maxed out everything I could pack and couldn't do a trip, you know? Because I was trying to be smart about things. And, you know, pre-move certain things ahead of time. So that way it wasn't quite such a nightmare on moving day. So that completely just derailed that plan for the day. And we ended up just having like a stack of boxes in the kitchen, or whatever passed for a kitchen to that place, which was really just a row of counter with like a stove, a sink, and a fridge, and a dishwasher. It was pretty sad of a kitchen, which was fine. You know, when you live in a city, you can just go to eat a lot. But yeah, so that just kind of screwed over that entire day. It was great. And then my my girlfriend's ex, technically is taking care of their cat. Because, like, she didn't really have space moving in with me. So, whereas, like, yeah, you keep the cat for a little while. Now we have the cat here. You might eventually get to see and meet a cat called Hemlock. It'll be a while. She doesn't like me. She doesn't like Sandy. She doesn't even like this house very much right now. Sandy's great. Sandy I can just, like, bring her around on my shoulder and be like, this is the office, this is the bedroom, yeah, go for a sniff. And, like, just give him a tour of the place. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. This is great, thanks. You know? Hemlock is not that kind of cat. You know? Hemlock is not that kind of cat. Sandy is far smarter than the average cat. So, you might get to meet Hemlock at some point. I make no promises as to when. You know? Talking shit about my cat. I'm not talking shit. Your cat is dumb as a rock, and you agree with me. It ain't even shit. And also, your cat is a very normal cat in comparison to my cat. Holy shit. Like, you've now gotten to hear Sandy when he's fucking angry. I swear to God, I do not own a cat. I own a fucking
fills you with determination.
You know? Like the huffing and the puffing and a blow the house down. Just sounds like an angry pig grunting. It's wild. Anyway. So anyway, Omen's ex is like, oh no, you can't pick up the cat the day before you move or anything. No, you're gonna have to do it the day you move. Which is like, oh yeah, great. I managed to move Sandy the day before. Stash him in a fucking bathroom on the overnight. He was okay with it, more or less. He's both the pig and the wolf, right? And, so we have to wake up at the ass crack of dawn. The ass crack of dawn in the summer. It was 6 in the goddamn morning. After we were up late packing the night before. Our day started at 6 a.m. and I had to drive into Toronto with the rush hour traffic Friday morning. Which only died like nearly twice. It was pretty fucking bad. Like the last couple of drives, because we actually had to go into the city a couple times. Like, the city was just trying to take me out on the way out. Like, holy shit. Like, I legitimately just had a guy straight up try and merge into me on the highway. I am lucky as fuck that there was nobody in the lane next to me and I could do an evasive maneuver. You know? So, like, just on my way out, the city tried to murder me. One... Man, it's good old rush hour assassination. Yeah. You never see it coming. So anyway, yeah, we had to get up at the ass crack of dawn, as you just sometimes do. Drive into the city with rush hour. Pick up a cat. And then drive back to meet the movers. On the way back to meet the movers, the front desk calls me to inform me that they cannot do the reservation. I'm trying to bring Miss Wobbles up. Feel free. Feel free. If you we'll see if she wants to poke her head out on the stream. You can probably make her. Hemlock is adorable when she's like either scared or excited. Like her head and eyes all wobble weirdly. Like there's some screws loose. So I've just started taking to calling her Mrs. Wobbles. Especially because she's been very scared and excited lately and thus wobbling constantly. Like a friggin' bobblehead. It's kind of adorable to see. There's some wires that are sparking in there. It's part orange, so yeah, no. That's what you get. So, the front desk of my building calls me. It's like, oh yeah, hello. We can't do your moving elevator reservation because we haven't received the check or for the deposit or the fuck. Speaking of which, Omen, at some point we need to remember I need to actually cash that deposit check again. Oh fuck. And so we don't have the deposit check, and we haven't received the forms. And I'm like, well, yeah, I shouldn't get the deposit check yet because I'm gonna bring that by. I bring that when like my time slot for the fucking moving elevator starts. And what do you mean you don't have the form? I submitted the forms and got the approval from the management last week. And it's like they haven't sent it to us. And so, after we get back, you know, the first thing I have to do is ditch Omen and just keep packing because we did not finish packing the night before. Take her cat, who by this point has long since pissed and shat herself in her carrier. And just pack while I go down to the front desk to try and sort it out. Because, you know, I don't know. Management just fucking didn't submit the forms correctly. But, like, I showed them the form, you know, showed them the email with the manager guy and the approval. It's like, yeah, alright. I'll call the management office, like, the second they open. Because they open at the start of your time slot and just confirm. But they otherwise, like, kind of took my word for it. Which is good. And the front desk guy, I think, literally caught the manager on his way in, like the building manager. And like got it. So it was like near disaster by bureaucracy there. I mean, you did bury him in evidence. Yeah, it's like, what do you want here? You know, it's like here's the form, here's the manager approving it. You know. And everything else, like, it's in the schedule too. That's the thing, like, it's in the schedule. So one would assume that all of that combined, they'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna toss it all the window downstairs. I was on like the 28th floor, so we definitely have to be attaching parachutes. But yeah, so well, do we have Mrs. Wobbles? Yeah, Sandy's probably pissed. Mrs. Wobbles is allowed into my office and not Sandy. Yeah. I got my crack open full-size webcam. Lean over. This is Hemlock. She is a very wobbly kitty. She is very upset and does not want to be here.
She's going to my room.
Yeah. Maybe.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
She's a shoulder cat.
Good luck. Try not to bleed too much.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I looked away and missed them. Sorry. Does Sandy at least tolerate Hemlock? Yes. Until Hemlock hisses. The moment Hemlock looks like she wants to pick a fight, it's like, alright, fucking let's go. Boom, 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 boom. You know? And the problem is, Hemlock's a fucking coward who, it is in fact a tortie, yeah, Boron. Is Hemlock Omens? Yeah. And Hemlock is just a fucking coward that hisses at everything. So, like, the problem is she's all, like, hiss and no bite. So, the problem right now is a loop where they're setting each other off. And we're working on trying to solve that. You know? We've got a loop where we're trying to solve that. But it'll get sorted in time. Alright. So anyway, continuing with the story of the Hellmove. Literally at the last possible second. You know, sorting out the fucking bureaucracy. needs a pet channel on Discord. We do have that. In fact, actually, if your Discord's linked, you now have access to it, Omen. It's just only people who pay money get to see it. Because, you see, that's how I extract money from people. I hide the pictures of the cute cats behind the paywall. And the dogs. Anyway, so continuing on with the story of the Hellmove. 9:30, the moving truck is pulling in, and an angry guy calls the front desk and says, "I want to book the moving elevator immediately." And you know, is extraordinarily belligerent. Like, at this point, I am standing across the desk from, like, the front desk guy. I can hear him shouting at it. It's like, "I need the elevator immediately. I'm having a delivery right now of a mattress. And you need to fucking, like, give it to me." And, like, we all know where this is going. Like, I did not give him any of my time slot. We literally went like 3 minutes over the time slot. The front desk guy was great about that. It's like, whatever, we have a half hour between the slots just in case. And it's God. I had to basically listen to a man be like, "I have some family coming from India, and I had to buy this mattress, and it's arriving faster than I anticipated. I really need the moving elevator right now." Anyway, Omen, feel free to also dump pictures of Hemlock and in the patron-only chat. Or they should just rename it to Pets and cute shit.
Welcome back. Your steadfast
And
loyalty is
you know,
greatly
like
appreciated.
at this point, like he's holding up like the front desk guy from even being able to like fucking move, and immediately calls back when the guy hangs up. And it takes like
A
3
new
or 4
subscriber
phone calls before he
arrives.
finally gives up.
It
He's like, "No,
fills
we
you
can't
with
do this thing." Like,
determination.
he even passed it off to me at one point and was like, "Here, you tell him." It's like, "No, I think I'm gonna run the clock on this, man. I don't have any time to give you. I would if I could, but I literally can't." Like, not actually a real problem, but a minor nuisance. And actually, the loading of things went very smoothly, all things said and done. Outside of like the time crunch, we got everything loaded into the van. Like thank God I hired movers. Holy shit, because that like hiring professional movers meant that one part of my move went smoothly. You know. They forgot a runner at one point. And like I had to toss that back to them, but that's like it. And it's like, yes, thank God, things are finally going good. Everything is coming up Millhouse, you know. It's like it's just been rough. So we have to then take Hemlock, a bunch of other shit, because there's a lot of stuff I'm not going to trust the movers to. Like this device I am streaming to you on right now, called a computer. I'm not fucking touching it. I'm not fucking letting them touch my computer. I'm not letting them touch Omen's computer. I'm not letting them touch any of that shit. And so be it. That's fine. Also, obviously, don't really want them to take the cats. Gotta make sure those are transported well. And with additional care. Wouldn't trust them with PCs. Honestly, they were very good. Like, I definitely probably could have trusted them with the PCs and it would have been fine. But, like, with how much GPUs weigh these days, like, maybe if I got, like, a little stand to help prevent, like, sag or anything, then it'd be fine. But, they were very good. Great movers. Just packet full of stuff. So they wouldn't snap the PCIe slot. Yeah, like I'd probably just pack the GPU separately. Gotta have all that cooling and extra fancy lights. No, that's Omen. Omen's computer has all the cooling. She's got an AIO and like RGB, which by the way is hilarious with Windows 11. We've been dealing with that in the condo forever. Because Windows 11 will turn on your computer at 2 a.m. to check for updates. And as part of like her RGB program, it doesn't automatically shut off if the computer goes to sleep. Which Windows 11 will then put the computer to sleep after it's done checking for updates at 2 in the morning. So just at 2 in the goddamn morning, the condo would light up in bright pink light. Which that was great for sleep. That's funny, yeah. So that was always fun. Anyway, yeah. So like the actual move itself went okay. There was traffic on the 401. There's always traffic on the 401 whenever I fucking want to drive the 401. There's also always traffic on the 401 even when I'm not driving on the 401. It's the fucking 401. There's just always traffic. I'm sure another lane will fix it. For the record, by the way, the 401 is the widest highway in North America. Like, everyone's always like, oh, where's the widest highway in North America? They think somewhere in, or like in the U.S. or like, probably even Texas. Everyone, I think, goes for the Texas-Dallas freeway or whatever the fuck it is. And no, it's the fucking 401. Like the stretch between like the highway and down, and I think like one of the things for downtown. I don't even know. Like Cubba also got to drive it. It's literally so big that it isn't any longer like a singular highway. There's the express and collectors systems. So it's 16 lanes split into 4 groups of 4. Express 4, collectors 4, and then repeat on the other side for going the other direction. 16 fucking lanes of fucking traffic. And also, just in general, I want to shoot whoever thought the collector express system was a good idea. I understand that it probably has some use, but as a driver, the only thing I note is that every time you want to enter a collector or like go to the interchanges between the collector and express, for anyone who doesn't know, I guess I should actually explain, because I don't think it's not guaranteed anyone even knows what a collector express system is. So the highways around here are so fucking fat, where where like adding more lanes doesn't actually help anymore, like, and that's generally a mathematical thing you can try. The more lanes you put on every additional lane provides less marginal utility, because you always get off on the right side. There's a few exits on the left, but they're pretty rare. So, at some point, some fucking genius just said, hey, so what if we have an express set of lanes that just go past a bunch of exits, and a collector that, tags all the exits? And then we split up the through traffic with the traffic getting off in these next, couple of exits. This is a perfectly reasonable thought process, and I'm sure made a shitload of sense. But here's the thing. Every time the collector comes around to remerge with the express before splitting off and then split off into another collector set, until they will drive to the collector. That's honestly not even a big problem, Hayden. The problem is every fucking time they touch. You've got people coming from the expressway that want to drive into the collector, and a bunch of people who just came from the collector, and if they're not going into the next collector, they're going onto the express. You've now created a giant zone of cross traffic, of people merging left and right all the fucking time through the same fucking lanes. And holy shit, it's awful. It is the most stressful thing to fucking pull off in a car. That is suicide. Yes! Like I said, I'm sure it made some fucking sense at some fucking point and has some fucking reason. But as somebody who drives, that flaw is so fucking massive that that's all I can think about it and all I can judge it on. I also got a more mental load of signs for the same highway. And clearly, yeah, Kevin got to drive through Toronto recently as he fled to Canada, and got to experience that. And what a fucking nightmare actually navigating the 401 is, because it gives you a shitload of signs, and if you're just passing through and have no idea what you're doing, the signs are all meaningless. Like, I had to like clearly explain to Kaba, it's like there's going to be signs for express, there's going to be signs for collectors. They don't mean anything to you. Try and stay on the express if you can. If you end up in a collector, it's fine. Just stay on the left. You know, you'll be fine. That's the advice I gave him. Just stay the fuck off the 407. If you end up on the 401, you're fine. If you end up on the 403, you're fine. You know, doesn't matter. If you somehow end up on some other number, you're actually that isn't 407. You're actually probably still fine. You know, it was okay. As long as the highway number isn't 407, you're fine, because that's the toll thing. But like, to the average person, if they hear something like collectors, like they think it's a fucking toll road, which is reasonable. But like, it's really just for collecting the traffic that's coming on and like collecting the traffic that's exiting is why it's called a collector's lane, or a set of collector's lanes. It also, by the way, completely fucks Google. Like, Google has so much fucking trouble with it because like they just diverge and come back together, and so Google's like, yeah, just go through the collector lane. You know, go into the collector lane, then come out the collector lane on the other side for absolutely no reason, and just do a shitload of lane changes. You know? There is absolutely fucking no reason. Go play zigzag. Yeah, just... Yeah, the instruction that only the 407 is toll road really helped. Yeah, it's the only toll road you had to worry about. And part of the reason I warned you is because, holy shit, in America, toll roads are at least reasonably priced. If you drove on the 407 company, you'd be bankrupt. You know? It's like $100 to drive the 407 the whole way. Like, it's fucking pricey. You know? I'm sorry, yes. Excuse me, what? Yeah. So first off, all the Americans' brains are going to break. Probably also the Europeans. I don't know if Europeans have toll highways. You know, I don't know how the fuck your system works there. But yeah, don't drive the 407. It's a fucking nightmare. I mean, don't have road tax. So anyway, I drove to London, USA across 2 states. It was $40. Yeah, you just want to drive around the edge of Toronto. It's gonna be more than that, you know. $20 round trip. Yeah, no. So anyway, yeah, the 407. That's why my main direction to come was always just stay off 407. Anyway, so. Enough ranting about the 401. As much as I can rant about the 401 until the cows come home. Because fuck the 401. We drive along. and we get to the new home. We get to our lovely new home. Pull in to the driveway, get Hemlock settled, because like Hemlock at that point had been in a carrier from I think approximately 6:30ish in the morning, and it was around 1 when we got there. So like, is that road maintained at least? Oh yes, yes. That's what tax populace. It's not tax, Fanny. One of the greatest scams the conservatives ever pulled was selling that toll road to a bunch of fucking Arab billionaires. Like, I think the Saudi family is the largest shareholder in the 407, by the way. If not, it's some other Arab family in Dubai. On a 99-year lease, by the way. Pennies on the dollar, yeah, basically. At least it's not the Chinese. Yeah, I guess. So it's prepared for him. But it was fine. Like, it was not really an issue. We just got Hemlock inside, got her unpacked, and let her hide. That's crazy, but what is it at this point? Yeah. And go out to lunch. You know, went and got lunch. Waiting for the movers, who also at some point went to get lunch and also got stuck in traffic. We get the call. I literally have to run back, let them in, start the unpacking, and eventually get everything unpacked. They get all the furniture put back together. They get everything sorted. Unfortunately, the whole ordeal took longer than estimated, part of which is totally Omen's fault. That second stop really cut us some time. But we had to pick up all her things. I love you, Owen. If you're still listening, it's fine. But anyway, they estimate me like $2,000. Now, I know it's going to be, that's a low ball. I know it's probably going to be closer to like 2250 to like 2500. Then, of course, they hit me with a giant fuel surcharge. The fucking bastards. And everything else. And it comes out to $3,000. Which, big oof. Hey, my goose. How's it going? It's going good. We're just in story time as I recount the tales of the Hellmove. Which is also serving really more as a double check to make sure my internet is stable enough for streaming. That's indeed an oof. Yeah. Planning and moving woes, yeah. But, like, honestly, it's whatever. They've done a good job. It's fine. It's good enough. Dropping frames. 0 frames dropped so far. You know? 0 fucking frames are dropping. No, the first frame that I drop will probably be when Omen turns on our computer. Because that's something we have to get to at some point as well. Which is that Omen and my office are on the same fucking electrical circuit. Which, you know. I'm sure it's fine. Although, in the event that, you know, I happen to just disappear, that's probably what happened. Ping Omen. That is less than ideal. I'm working on a solution. We're going to load test it, make sure it's good, and if it's not, I have a plan, thankfully. Anyway, so the move's done, and I'm like, well, the internet was supposed to have been turned on yesterday. I go check the internet. Would you believe it's not on. Actually, this is technically out of order because I technically called them the day before because we were in the town the day before unpacking Sandy and stuff. How are the kitties? Incredibly angry and or terrified, depending on which cat you want to talk about, you know? One is angry, one is terrified. Hemlock's currently still in your office? Oh, that's good. Just put a breaker in there. That is double the amps. That is actually something you can do in North America, Fanny. I know you live in, like, the Netherlands, so I don't know if that's something you know you can just do. But, you know, in North America, we can actually just do that. Now, I am not crazy enough to do that, unless it really comes to it. Like, and I really fucking hope it doesn't come to that. Now recommend tends to heat your roast real quick. Yeah, well, I mean, the gauge of the wires and the walls isn't exactly scaled up. Like, we have a ton of, 240 volt sockets in the house, though. And it's just usually we hook in things like dryers and stoves to them. Because one thing a lot of Europeans don't realize is, fun fact, we do have 240 volts in North America. The only difference is instead of 0 to 240, we do 120 to negative 120. Which sounds really fucking weird. Oh, I wish. I wish, Fishik. We haven't even gotten to that. The AC here doesn't work, by the way. That's still coming up in the horror show. I don't even think I bitched about that on Discord. Yeah. Oh, no, I think I did. I think I posted a picture. So anyway. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Hayden. That's where we're at right now. Who checked this stuff out? Yes. But we couldn't check the air conditioner because it was incredibly cold that day. And pro tip, don't turn on your air conditioner when it's 3 degrees. That can, in fact, will damage it. It's actually worse, me gusta, of a Canadian summer. It's wet here. It's wet here. We've already had over 30 degrees centigrade. Like over the weekend. I don't know. Hang on, C to F. It peaked out at 90 Fahrenheit over the weekend. Last like 3 days, yeah. It peaked out at 90 Fahrenheit over the weekend, with a outdoor humidity of over 80%, because we are surrounded by lakes. I don't know if anyone's ever actually looked at a map of Southern Ontario, but holy shit, there is a lot of lakes. Yeah. Come on, you're further away from Southern Ontario, up in Ottawa, and don't have to deal with it. Yes, moist heat. Yep. God. Like, and that's just May, so it's only going up from here, you know? But where was I? Alright. So anyway, I call up the ISP, and they're like, yeah, something went wrong in your activation. We have to try some fixes. It'll take 2 days. And I'm like, fuck, alright, whatever. I can live, you know. 2 days, it's not the end of the world. And given I haven't been streaming for, a week after this move, we all know that 2 days was a lie. When I called back after those 2 days, by the way, to get some updates, the guy, quote unquote, said, "What do you mean they have to do additional verification? Do they need to verify the house exists?" And basically got told another 2 days. Has some sort of mental affliction will compulsory off the AC. Did your roommate by any chance grow up in poverty, Fishik? Or otherwise is potentially impoverished? Also possibly Korean. They do have that fan death there. The Koreans do not like the fans. He's a rich boy. Fair enough. But yeah. That'd be my guesstimate for your roommate's hatred of the AC. But it didn't rub off on me, yeah. But yeah, anyway. So, you know, the guy's like, yeah, fuck. Another 2 days. Okay. Another 2 days goes by. Have to call in again. And they're like, yeah, your house isn't on the fucking network. We don't know why. We can't activate your internet. Like, we're gonna schedule an on-site tech to go overlook. It'll be another 2 days. And would you believe it? 6 fucking days after Thursday, that is today, fucking finally, some guy shows up. Doesn't even have to come inside. We didn't even get a knock on the door. It was just a fucking problem at the goddamn curb. Make a zoomy sound with. You know, we finally get internet. Like, holy shit. Especially because, like, during some of the early diagnostics, the amount of, like, screwing of coax I had to do was a nightmare. Like, trying to get the internet ready and set up. No worries, yeah, fucking probably. Basically what I spent fucking several hours last week doing. Because, you know, I am the kind of person who enjoys fast-wired internet. And unfortunately, any house built before like 2015 doesn't have like any Ethernet running through it for some goddamn reason. I don't know why. And even then, it's pretty rare actually a lot of the time to have it. Everyone's like, oh, Wi-Fi is good enough. You know, fuck that. Also, fuck all my neighbors. I did buy a high-power mesh network. I don't need a high-powered mesh network. It was just kind of on sale. And at the power setting I have it, I am pretty certain my neighbors no longer have Wi-Fi. I am pretty fucking certain that their Wi-Fi routers are cooking. Because, you know, I've just decided, fuck it, I've gone scorched earth. Because I've been living in a goddamn condo building with 80 other goddamn routers in my fucking radius. That has destroyed Wi-Fi's usability. Like, I could not watch TV. You monster, yes. I'm like, I want perfect Wi-Fi. This is like, of course, the equivalent of driving like a monster truck on the highway and just taking up like 2 or 3 lanes. You know? Mind you, I'm from Canada where our highways often have 4 lanes, so this is perfectly normal. Just want to make sure to be around the curve outside. My man, I can get internet across the street. I actually should do a proper like range checking. I don't lose connection until I go down to the block. Congrats, Cubba. You also are a jackass like me. Fuck your neighbors. Oh. Don't worry. Unless they're the bare minimum, like, advanced users, it's not going to be a real problem. Just put a ground wire mesh on your walls, ceiling, and floor. Yeah. So, anyway. Spend a shitload of time installing what is called Mocha adapters. Which is a fucking nightmare. I'm gonna be real here. It's a fucking nightmare. Because nobody in their goddamn mind had any forward thought when they were building houses. Well, congratulations. Thanks, Glass Eye. Don't worry, the first 2 hours of this are going to be me bitching and crying. Fingers crossed that took... Jesus fucking Christ, Omen, don't do it. If I disappear, y'all know what happened. There goes the circuit breaker, yep. We spent an hour talking. I'm not even halfway through yet. I am going to let the ad break run, and I'll be back. I need to take a bathroom break.
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination. A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination. A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination. A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination. A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination. A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination. A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination.
I go for a fucking piss break, and that's when everyone's like, hey, what if I start giving subs? Thank you, mind you.
A new subscriber arrives.
But still.
It fills you with determination.
Y'all hate me? Y'all want to give me money to leave and stay away?
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination.
Yeah, thank you very much to Fanny for gifting 5
A new
subs.
subscriber
Assassin for
arrives.
gifting 5 subs.
It fills you
Fishik
with
for gifting a
determination.
sub to Bernie Sanders. And Fanny for giving 5 more subs. Oh, and then Hayden for 5 more subs. Alright.
A
Everyone
new
gets set,
subscriber
yeah.
arrives. It fills you with determination.
Shut up and take my money. Fucking Christ.
A new subscriber arrives.
It's funny because that actually worked. That silenced that alert. Oh, we're not yet level 3. We're at level 5. What are you guys talking about? This hype train doesn't go any higher, I don't think. Maybe it does. Pretty sure they don't. No, there's apparently level 7, and that's the channel record.
A new subscriber
Pretty sure they can
arrives.
keep going.
It fills you with determination.
Yeah, it's dumb. The gift subs don't hit people watching first. It should. But yeah. Turning Point Live. God damn it, Fishik. Fishik, I do want to remind you that they do probably get like $2.50 from that. You literally have now donated $2.50 to the Turning Point.
A new subscriber arrives.
I just want to point this out to you. At any rate. So where did I leave off? Oh yeah, so that's the saga of getting the internet, and I've been hooking up Mocha adapters, which, for the love of God, no one has any forethought. I go down into the goddamn utility room in the basement, and it is a rat's nest of fucking coax wiring. Where do any of these go? I don't know. No one else does. None of them are labeled. Do they even work? Who the fuck knows? Why would anyone ever label any of it? It's all just connected in some stupid wire network that I assume at some point was used for cable TV. Nobody uses cable TV anymore. So no, we use Mocha now. So I have to start, screwing in the adapter on the utility room, and go and screw adapters around the house, trying to figure out which wire goes where, so that way I can also write on it.
A new subscriber
Anyway,
arrives.
it takes me forever.
It fills
Thank you,
you,
by the way,
with
for
determination.
Fishik for gifting a sub to Zoe. It takes me fucking ever, because would you fucking believe it? The coax cable to this office was fucking killed. It's just dead. Which sucks. Our house was cut through and Bruce trying to cut a hole to his yeah. So that's where I'm at right now, Fanny. The cable to this office died, or just was dead, for reasons I don't know and I don't care enough to find out. It was annoying as fuck to deal with. Now, thankfully, and this is the thing, I live in North America, where our houses are made of paper. So it's not the end of the world to steal somebody else's coax cable from nearby and reroute it. So I've done that to, for now, get me internet, which is great. Technically now Omen's office has the dead cable, but I need it first. Spill mine through the goddamn wall. Damn right I did. I think potentially by now the plates have arrived. I'm just literally going to be setting up a plate, and I'm then just going to be running an Ethernet cable through the wall to Omen's office, and having it terminate to an Ethernet jack in her office. It's a house, Fishik. It's a full house. It's a townhouse, mind you, but it's a house. Newspaper check, y'all's house. Damn right. So I'll still be getting her good wired internet. Don't worry, but I need it first. I need the good shit first, you know. Yeah. So that was a fucking nuisance, a nightmare to get sorted, and still isn't technically sorted. And yeah. And as we continued sorting that out, part of the reason I even had to of my office here. It was technically, I think, against our original plans. It was supposed to be a guest room. But unfortunately, the air handler, which is like 25 years old and complements my AC system, is far too loud for us to put anything near. You know? I'd hoped to be having my office in a basement. In fact, I might still at some point move this office into a basement. Ooh, Goblin Jam. I could probably sleep there. Probably me too. I have to deal with Omen. 75 decibels, honey. I love you. Oh well. Yeah, no, that's that's how loud Omen snores. I literally got an app. I just held it next to her one night because like, holy shit, she's so loud. I was like, oh, 75 decibels. Yeah. No wonder I can't sleep. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have conduits running this house, Fanny, because that's not really North American building code, because it's so easy to reroute wires. So there's no conduit, which is kind of really frustrating. If I want to figure out, like, if I want to run more coax, I have to go up into the attic and, like, remove a shitload of, like, staples in the bare minimum. It's just kind of stapled to the 2x4s. But yeah, so I'll probably get that sorted out at some point. But that's like not a priority right now. That's like I'm gonna deal with that in like 5 years thing. You know? When I finally recovered from this move. And yeah. Yeah, that makes writing easy. I just have to piggyback on existing infrastructure of the 60-year-old house. Yeah. Yeah. And hope that there's pull cables. Alright. But yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, so yeah, no, we got the mocha sorted out. Finally. That took me several hours of running up and down stairs, by the way, because second floor and basement. Holy shit, my legs literally hurt for days after. I think I did probably that day close to somewhere between like 50 and 60 flights of stairs in total. Like there was a shitload of trips up and down. It was a nightmare. There's not too many bends in the line. Don't forget to lube it. They do have lube for that. Helps a lot. You do basically have to fill your entire conduit with lube sometimes, but it'll work. And can certainly help. Like any hole, a little bit of lube goes a long way. Yep. Oh, Lord. So, anyway, as I was saying, so the air handler makes a gargantuan amount of noise. So there is absolutely no way I can have my office in the basement in the cold where I'd hoped to put it. I just figured I could be on the opposite side and it would be fine. No, that thing is a behemoth. To be fair, the air handler is original, and this house is 2021, so the air handler is now 25 years old. It's dying. That was kind of expected. Like, I am well aware it's dying. I knew that when I bought the place. It's kind of reflected in the price and all that. Not really. But, you know, it's fine. I have plans to replace it. Along with the furnace and AC at some point in this year. And yeah, come on, you old bastard, don't quit on me yet. Yeah, or quit on me. If it dies, it's silent, and I can just move my office down there, right? Right, guys? But yeah, so hopefully I'm figuring a modern one will be significantly quieter. You know, and one that doesn't rattle. So we had to move my office back upstairs to one of the secondary bedrooms, so we have no guest room right now. But we'll sort it out. Which also, reorienting the house on short notice has also killed my legs. Holy shit. Living in a condo building for as long as I have, I forgot how much stairs hurt. Like, I'm reacclimating to having to walk up and down stairs on a regular basis. And it turns out that is something you kind of need to acclimate to. Oh, fuck. Where was I? Right. So, yeah, air handler's fucked. Then as the weekend comes around, as I said, it goes over 30 degrees. Up until that weekend, the heater had been on, was heating the house, because it was cold as shit. It was like 10 to 11 degrees, like high most days. You know, I had figured, I'll schedule my move in May. It'll be nice and warm, won't be a problem. And we found out that the AC didn't turn on. The thermostat was just kind of flashing a very generic error, because it's an old-ass thermostat that kind of sucked. And I was like, yes, the cool light is flashing. Except manual. Any number of things. It was just basically a generic, there is an error with the air conditioner. And I'm like, okay. So I pop off my thermostat, and I'm like, you little bitch, you're gonna do what I fucking tell you. And I just jump the fucking wires. And I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck if on the control circuit the air conditioner is reporting that it is not functional. I am going to call for cooling. And I did. And for what it's worth, the air conditioner functioned for about a day. And then it lost all of its remaining cooling capacity. I would probably not have done that if I had access to my recirculating fan, but apparently the only way to turn on the recirculating fan was to turn on the heat. Which was a problem. Because the error was managing to completely fuck up the entire thermostat, so it wouldn't do anything while it was on the cool or cooling setting, you know? And it only has heating and cooling, and off. So I have to have either the hot or the cold on. And yeah. So, that's lovely. Anyway, I'm getting the whole system fucking replaced. I just thought it was a good idea. People experimenting with computers in the late 90s. You know? They really hadn't figured out all the kinks yet. So. Anyway, I just turned the AC into my bitch. I sent a picture in, like, Discord. The fact that I was jumping cables. Because... like, I know enough, like, general, like, things that I'm not super worried about doing that. You know? I actually remember back when I was helping a friend build a computer. I'm like, cool, we got the basics assembled here. I was helping out remotely because they live, like, really far away. I'm like, okay, can you take a screwdriver and jump these 2 pins on your motherboard? And they're like, what? No, I'd never. That's scary. I would never do that. Like, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly safe. Their father, who's also helping, just picks up the screwdriver and just jumps the 2 pins, and the computer powers on. And doesn't pass post. It's like, oh, okay, there's a problem with the RAM. We'll reseat that. And then we do it again, and it passes post. And, like, that's why we wanted to do that at that point, because we just had everything plugged in. But, like... you know, so I know enough of this stuff where, like, I'm not afraid of just jumping cables and pins if push comes to shove. I know what I'm doing. It's fine, you know? I can look up a wiring guide and be like, okay, I just need to connect this to this. You know? It's fine. It doesn't matter. I know how to make I know how to make my own Switch. Like, yes, in fact, I could hotwire a car. It's not that hard, all things considered. Which is probably why criminals can do it. These days with the mobilizers that can't be defeated by a USB key anyway. It sucks if you own a Kia. Are a little harder. They at least have some safety features. But, hot wiring a car is pretty easy. You just have to follow a couple cables to the right thing and just be like, I'm just going to connect the battery directly to the thing that starts the car. Some basic knowledge of electronics and electricity in general is good. Anyway, so we got 1 day of cooling. We had to suffer the other 2 days. And that sucked. It really sucked. We melted on the bed for several hours. And died. But, that reminds me, I really need to call the AC tech. They were supposed to call me back yesterday. But nobody ever fucking calls me back. Oh, Lord. Bam. So we're slowly just getting things sorted and set up. And we've been heading out, going out. I live next to a train. We call it an LRT here. Mostly because in Canada, you are not allowed to use the... No, it's not dusty. No, it's actually more humid inside for some fucking reason. Hang on, let me get AccuWeather up. Because that one also contains the expected indoor and outdoor humidities, I think. At least I know where to find it. Give me more details. Yeah. The indoor humidity is currently about 12% higher than the outdoor humidity. Or expected indoor. That's horrifying. Mind you, it's 47 to 59, so it's fine either way. I don't know necessarily why that happens, but yeah, usually indoor humidity is hotter than is higher than the outside. Maybe I should get a dehumidifier. I don't know. But yeah, that is actually how that works. And again, I'm not really sure why. Yeah, because it gets trapped in. Maybe. That's not something I actually have expertise in, unlike, say, electrical. I have no idea why. It just does. Okay? It just fucking does. So yeah, no, we are melting for that. Anyway, live next to a train. Because in Canada, streetcar might as well be a fucking four-letter word. Because I've gotten to scare the Dutch people before talking about the Toronto streetcar network. And what a fucking travesty it is. I think literally just this year they phased out the final intersection where the operator had to exit the streetcar with a pole and change the track, and switch the track manually by sticking the pole in the ground and turning like a thing on it. They finally phased that out. I mean, I've taken a streetcar or train in North America. Yes, Fanny. So anyway, yeah, the Toronto streetcar network is rough. A lot of them don't even use pantograph. Well, no, they're currently trying to phase out the old trolley line system and replace the entire thing with pantographs. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about that, the old trolley line system is basically just a very shitty single wire that doesn't deliver anywhere near as much power. A pantograph, I think, is 4 wires, I want to say. that delivers significantly more power and stability. When you're riding on the older part of the streetcar network, it was very possible actually for the hook to just fall off the line, and your streetcar would just lose power. In addition to this, because it doesn't deliver anywhere near as much power, you can't have things like AC on those streetcars. There's no air conditioner working on some lines because of that. You know? It's not great. Oh, it keeps getting worse, Fanny. Do you know what the speed limit through the intersections is? 10 kilometers an hour. You know why? Because for some fucking reason, some of the track switchers that are still dated back to the 1890s or whenever the fuck they were put in, and even some of the more modern ones, may derail the streetcars if they go over that fucking speed limit. They have to go 10 kilometers an hour over any track switch. Because if they try to go 20, there's a chance that they just derail. It's bad. Anyway, and everyone knows it's bad. Let me guess, they get negative funding. Thankfully not, actually. They get net zero funding. Although I think the province literally just seized control of the TTC, so that might actually legitimately happen. You know? They might just start stealing money from the TTC's fare. The TTC is pretty much entirely self-funded by fares. You know? So brutal sucks for them. But yeah, no, that's the state of the Toronto streetcar network. I've literally talked about it before as well in Discord, but the stops, by the way, a lot of the time are just in the middle of the street. You want to exit the streetcar, you get off and then have to cross 2 lanes of traffic sometimes. Level boarding? Fuck no. The station? No, you just get out onto the street. You need a wheelchair? The operator gets out and has to turn a key or something on the side to extend along a wheelchair ramp that blocks one of the lanes, and a bunch of lights flash, and it takes a fucking minute. You know? And of course, they don't get dedicated lanes, they don't get signal priority. So it's not exactly an uncommon occurrence for there to be a group of 3 streetcars all together, because traffic sucks. And when that happens, by the way, sometimes they just kick you off. They just will sometimes kick you off. Okay? And then do what's called a short turn, where they basically just go back around and start their route again. So you could be riding along the streetcar and be like, I'm sorry, you'll have to get off and wait for the next one. And if you happen to be on the last because of how the thing works, there's usually not another one for another 10 to 15 minutes. So they'll just kick you off halfway through the fucking line, and you have to wait 10 to 15 minutes. And then sometimes, of course, because you can have 3 streetcars do a short turn at once. A streetcar could pull up and then it just gets full, and then you're still waiting for the fucking next one. You know? I think at one point Omen even had to wait for 2 full streetcars and then get on the 3rd one. It's a fucking nightmare. It's awful. Hey Warlord Wolf, thank you very much for 91 months. Long to have your support.
Greatly appreciated.
So anyway, the Toronto streetcars are fucked. The subway, when it works, is very good. There's a big asterisk there of when it works. Line 2 in particular is really bad, and it gets shut down probably 3 times a week for something. Either somebody jumping onto the tracks or one of the... I think in the last couple of weeks there's been 4 or 5 incidents of literally the trains just kind of breaking and spilling oil everywhere. That has not been great. And hate the subway. Yeah. So, and it's not great. Anyway, so that's why we call it an LRT here. You know? Because everything to do with Toronto Transit is cursed and awful. For the most part. For a city of like 4 million. I think in the last census, and we literally just had the next census, so probably more than 4 million. Probably close to like 5 million now. Who knows? We'll find out in a couple months. Yeah, we don't like to use the word streetcar around here. You know? That is a dirty 4-letter word. But that's honestly basically what it is. At least in the downtown core. It is actually really nice. It's called the Ion, and like it is a streetcar in downtown, and like an above ground subway in the surrounding parts. It's very nice. You know, like one of the stops on the train is literally just in the middle of a park. You know, it is nice. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So yeah, we go to eat and yada yada yada. I'm like, oh god, it's so nice not have to drive every single day because I live next to public transit. So I do not drive at all for one fucking day. One fucking day. You know? I got a whole goddamn day without driving. It was usually only ever like short stuff, just to like nearby stores or whatever, to grab things. You know, when we needed furniture, we needed groceries. One fucking day I got where I didn't drive. And a squirrel or some other fucking rodent decided to fucking go into my fucking engine block, fucking severed my coolant line, fucking fucked up several wires. Although that I'm jumping ahead of myself. Technically how this happened was, oh, we need to go Home Depot and pick up a compressor. Because Omen wants to like make dice. I'm like, sure, let's do that. Turnkey. Oh yeah, I've got 9 errors popping up on my dashboard. Okay, yeah, these are just all the secondary systems. The car's computer is pretty clearly failed, but luckily I don't need that to drive. And it's not like it's far anyway. It'll be fine. Because it's like, yes, I have no temperature sensor. I have no secondary, like... It's like secondary auto braking systems offline, auto collision systems offline, or auto collision prevention system or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't technically need any of these to drive. It's like, whatever. Great combo. Yeah, so anyway, as I'm driving, like when I meant temperature sensor, I meant more like thermometer. You know, usually on the dashboard or whatever, it's like, it is 30 degrees outside. It just was reading no. Like line, whatever. Thankfully, the temperature gauge for my engine temperature worked. Because I'm like, whatever, let's just do this. It's the Home Depot's short hop. It's nothing. Anyway, and so I'm looking at that going, huh. That temperature sensor is climbing awfully high, awfully quickly. Yeah, why does the engine temperature... That's the highest I've ever seen it. I know it's hot today, but like, I have driven 2 kilometers to a Home Depot. You know? we and get to the Home Depot, and it's like, yeah, we're popping the hood. I'm gonna have a look at this. Pop open the hood. It's like, oh yeah. First off, there's a Tim Hortons bagel bag in there. And as part of the rodent's nest that Owen just pulls out. I was like, the fuck? It's like, oh, yeah, there's a bunch of sticks and shit in here, too. Alright. And, you know, a bunch of fucking teeth marks on the engine coolant line. So the coolant reservoir, I could literally just see it, like, you know, when it cooled to fanless air cooled. Now, there's still some coolant in the radiator, and I'm going to have to top it up before I drive it to the mechanic. And shockingly, I am actually going to drive it to the mechanic. I live, thankfully, only 1.3 kilometers or so from where I'm taking it. So I'm pretty sure if I just pour some coolant in the radiator, I'll make it. You know, um, just top it up before I leave. It's not a great way to do it, but I'm pretty sure it won't boil over 1.3 kilometers. You know, if it dies, you can always push it there, right? Like at that point, it's like if I can get halfway, it's like I'll finish it off, whatever. The car's bringing up on the next customer states compilation short. Customer states, squirrel ate the coolant and wires. Looks inside. Yep. So it's probably fine. Anyway, I'm parking it in the garage now. Initially, I didn't park it in the garage for a couple days because my garage was just full of shit, you know? I had a bike, I had a bunch of other things, I had to reorganize the garage, stash the car away in there. One fucking day I didn't drive. One fucking day I didn't drive. And a squirrel has eaten my goddamn coolant. I assume it's a squirrel, because there's just a shitload of squirrels around here. And I'm not a rodent expert. I can't tell teeth marks apart. But yeah. The car at least is still functional until it's just driving it. You're on a timer until it overheats. You know? On the plus side, since the coolant line severed, I don't think it can explode. Like, I effectively already have a pressure release valve on it. You know? So, small victories. If I fuck up, it's not going to explode on me, you know? If I fuck up and the coolant boils. Oh. And it turns out it actually can. It probably not. I have one question. What coolant line is cut? The one that supplies the engine or the one from the engine to the radiator? The one from the reservoir to the radiator. And that's how I get an update from home that you're on a hospital. Okay, look. If it explodes, I'm not going to the hospital. I'll still be fine. It'll just be my car is totaled. Like, even if the radiator boils over and explodes, rather conveniently, between the radiator and me will be a multi-ton engine block that will absorb every bit of kinetic force and debris. With your luck, it could always happen. Anyway, so yeah, that's great. Also, the mechanic is fucking back booked because I did choose pretty much the closest mechanic because I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to drive this any further, you know. Anyway, they're backlogged, not until like Thursday next week in like the evening, you know. So, I just got no car for 9 days. And boy howdy am I glad I'm living next to a fucking train station right now. Like a fucking light rail. Oh, it's a lifesaver. Oh, Lord. But yeah, no. It's great. You know, I absolutely love the ion system here in my new city. Which, by the way, those of you who don't know, I have moved back to the city of Kitchener-Waterloo. You know, Waterloo, named for the the famous defeat of the French, and Kitchener, named for the Secretary of War who defeated the Germans in the First World War. You know. Just a pair of cities that have grown to merge into each other that just celebrate the defeat of two European powers. Well, the rodent can't get back at the car. You know, pretty sure. It's in the garage. And it's protected now, you know? But yeah, so, because this city is great. And I tell, like, Kaba this, since he's fled to Canada now. They're like, hey, you should move here. But Kaba's like, non. Since he wants to fucking learn French for some goddamn reason. You know? I try not to kink shame, but I kink shame it. My aunt's brother and his fiance are looking for us in Kitchener-Waterloo right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Love you, Cubba. You know, Kitchener-Waterloo is fucking great. It really is. 10 out of 10. Would recommend anyone to move here. Oh, but yeah. So now I get to ride a train. Like just literally yesterday, we rode a train to go eat at a restaurant. Speaking of which, Fishik, when your younger brother moves here, I have a million restaurant recommendations. Waterloo or Napoleon Lost. Yeah, yes, Fanny. I guess you weren't here when I introduced the Twin Cities of Kitchener and Waterloo. Kitchener, named for Lord Kitchener, the Secretary of War who defeated the Germans in World War One. The cities are named for the defeat of the French and the defeat of the Germans. And there's Cambridge, which we drag kicking and screaming into modernity. Someday they'll probably end up touching. I'll make sure it takes me to the next one when I visit. So yeah. No, we got to take a train. Literally hop off at a stop, and across the street is a restaurant that I love. And you know, we got to go eat there. And we hop back on the train, ride it like 3 more stops down, hop off, go to a pet store, pick up additional food for Hemlock, because Hemlock's a little fucking princess who's been fed nothing but wet food all her life. You know. And then hop on a train and just come home. Like, it's great. How dare you give me peasant kibble? Spoiled. Yeah. And it's great. Like, Omen's here and can, like, even attest that the Ion and the LRT here is incredible in comparison to, like, Toronto Transit. You know? Like, realistically, the biggest hassle is that, you know, fare enforcement's here, we actually have to, you know, give our cards over and tap them. You know? There's no homeless people sleeping on it. It doesn't smell like piss and shit. There's almost nobody, like, blaring music. Every now and again, you get an occasional person doing that. But that's technically against the rules, and there's, like, a decent enough amount of security on the train that usually doesn't happen. So, it's pretty good, all things considered. A good Indian South Asian recommendation for restaurants. Ooh. Like, yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I'm literally just pulling up a map here. God. Where is it? Somewhere around here. It's in Uptown Waterloo. I cannot find it right now, though. There's actually just a million good places in Uptown Waterloo, though. That's my brother's favorite cuisine. Yeah. I mean, if your brother's into curry, you can also go to most of the British places there. They serve actually some very good curry. Even at like one of the places we ate recently was the Duke of Wellington, and oh man, their curry fan-fucking-tastic. Good to know. Yeah. So there's. I'll find it later and give it to you. Don't want to get too derailed. I intend my puns. Oh. But yeah. So it's thankfully been a pretty solid lifesaver to just kind of have the train and be fine for the next couple of weeks. It's a great train. Like, I called and talked to my stepmom, who was all like, "Oh, you feel safe taking the train? It's fine." It's like, yeah, it fucking is. Like, of course. And I get kind of like talked to like I'm a fucking alien for it. Because like, yeah, it's just such a good transit system. It's like I would describe it as the one transit system in North America that is kind of making like parity with Europe. And like that, unfortunately, is one transit system meeting the European standards. It's not even like a full network. But it's at least something, you know? It's a fucking start. And by golly, a start is what we need. Now I completely derailed. Shane is just chatting. Honestly, I've been at it for like 2 hours, so I probably should have. Anyway, so I still have a broken AC. I still have a broken coax cable. I still have a broken car. I have functioning internet. I have functioning internet. I have a woman who loves me. It's just where I'm at now. And oh yeah, the ability to only use one computer at a time. We need we need to run a stress test on that tonight. We need to run a stress test on that tonight. Need it from the other side of the house. Funny you say that, Fanny. That's on the solutions list. Because I did preemptively start mapping. Just as another note. The breaker mappings in this house are fucked. Here's my last tangent. What in the fuck? These two rooms that are the offices, that are just like spare bedrooms, are labeled smoke alarms. Nothing on the... Well, I think actually most of like the appliances are correct. Because they have the like double breakers. I can tell which ones are which. Like, it took me several trips up and down the stairs to go like, alright, I've turned off like half the fucking house. Everything that's an actual room should be off now. Like, I've turned off the living room breaker. Living room's on. I've turned off the master bedroom and all the other shit. It's all... Yeah, someone did some fucking remodeling of the breaker groupings and did not update it. It's, at some point I'm going to have to, figure it out. But, like, that's, again, shit I'm going to deal with in 5 years. World War I post... Anno meets Songs of Six, my goose. Like, I affectionately call it Anno 1919. But it's got like some Song of Six elements. There's a world map. You send out armies and fight other city-states as you try and conquer the world. I do want to actually play it. I do in fact actually want to play it. All right. But yeah, that's where we're at. The blessings are few and far between. This move has been a fucking nightmare of trying to get anything to work. Night, Fanny. I'm sorry for that. No problem. You're pretty much at the end of my ranting about how the last roughly 2 weeks of my life have gone. And yeah, I played this when it first came out. I quit this game when I got to the late game, and they did not really have the late game UI well figured out. Okay, I need to build 150 ships. Oh, I can only build one each click. And I need to redo the order for 150 ships like every 15 to 20 minutes. And I nearly got carpal tunnel and then rage quit. That has apparently all, for the most part, been fixed. I even loaded up my old save and looked. It's like, oh yeah, I can just text edited numbers here now, and this is good. You know? It was good. Alright. But, no, fuck the tutorial. I do remember how to play, for the most part. It's also, it's not that hard. Anyway, I'm going to take a bathroom break. But I want to know, you guys, where you think I should start. Give me a zone, you know? I can theoretically put my city anywhere in the world. And I'll be right back. And I was probably just going to throw on an ad break. Alright. I've returned. Uganda, Florida, Kazakhstan. Some damn foolish city in the Balkans. Quebec, India. Serious suggestion, Falklands. That one's, I think, a little too specific. Like, there's a limited number here. Okay, I actually have no idea where a cow is, so that could be the Falklands for all I know. The Chilone Archipelago in the south of Chile. Nope. Yeah, you kind of only get like a limited number of actual things. They're like sort of the historical city sites. Unfortunately for like Canada is horribly underserved. Like this region, which contains, of course, you know, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City. The three maps you get in this region are New York, Norfolk, and Washington. Up here you get like some of the northern cities like Fort Severn, Chisabili, Lac Nemaskeu, and Mary's Harbor. But yeah. Kazakhstan, you get Beogolin and Dushanbe. Yeah, even for like the Pacific here, you get Reno, Salt Lake City, and Seattle. You know? Reno of all cities, yes. Oh. Fucking Reno. Reno, Salt Lake City, and Seattle. No out in LA, not Sacramento. Nope. Reno time. So is everyone on board with Reno just because of the stupidity of it? I guess so. Alright. What should our city name be? Reno is so silly, like not Las Vegas. Where the fuck is Reno? I have to look at the fucking map. The only thing I've heard about Reno is like, I think there's a show called Reno 911. That's literally all I know about it. I'm pretty sure it's in Nevada. Yeah, there we are. Reno, Nevada. Ah, yes, I see. So it's basically in the mountains. I get it. Okay. And it's the divorce capital of the world. New Vegas. Yep. You know what? Alright. So we get to choose now our heritage, which gives us a bunch of bonuses as well as a singular penalty. You know? And also it affects how our units look. So, like there's the Silk Road legacy, better trade deals, faster improvements, diplomatic stance with other nations, pass morale bonus, bonuses gained from regional infrastructure are halved. Regions far from the capital reduce resource output, increase the distance. Yeah, I love the KV2. Yeah, you know, each one of these is, how do you put it? Inspired by a certain nation. Like, you know, there's the BT-7 here, the T-34. I actually don't know which one that one is. But yeah, Silk Road Legacy is pretty obviously Russia. My oh my. I wonder what the Imperial Dominion is, guys. Ye fucking haul. It's the Americans. Manifest Destiny. Stronger influence on the instability of neighboring regions. Bonus to infantry attack. Passive bonus to region stability. Okay, well, I know this one's terrible. Infantry suck for attacking, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, realistically, you attack with artillery in this game. And tanks. Infantry are defensive. Or maybe I've got that in reverse. Are artillery defensive? And infantry attack? Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, the Untamed Frontiers. This one's another inspired by Russia. This one gives us advanced logistics, improves supply chain efficiency on the world map, faster army cooldown, increased free traders sending money, reduced stability of border regions, increased chance for revolt. The Maritime Dominion. Why, this one, of course, is the British. Yeah, I think, is it, you know... I lived logistics personally. Really? Nautical mastery, fast fleet cooldown, increase the amount of looted resources when pillaging trade routes, increased immigration, military morale due to internal societal conflicts. The Industrial Titan. Yeah. Industrial powerhouse. Faster construction and repair of region upgrades. Faster army deployment. Faster naval trade. Trade ships arrive more often. And increase the chances of strikes and riots. The Age of Enlightenment. Scientific renaissance, you know, you have faster development, faster breakthrough gain, increased farming resources production in a region. Reduced production speed of military equipment and training new military units. There's Forest Warriors. Jungle Warfare. Improved army unit defense in forest terrain. Faster military unit training. Reduces infrastructure upkeep. And reduces development rate by 10%. I actually do kind of like this one. Mountain Kingdoms. Terrace farming. Increased farming resources gained from mountain regions. Army attack bonus in mountain regions. Mountain terrain. Cooldown is greatly reduced in the same terrain. Guardians of the Amazon. Increased region resource gain from the forest regions. Isolations. Reduces the effectiveness of diplomacy, making it more difficult to sign deals and progress diplomatically. I like that. And then there's Empire of Steel. I don't know what I feel about this one. Fostering production of military vehicles and aircrafts, lowers garrison upkeep, improves production of ore mines, and penalty all agricultural production due to pollution. My favorite, I think, is Industrial Titan. Because the chance of strikes and riots are basically only if you fuck up. You know? Like, you just get punished for fucking up. And as somebody who has played a shitload of Anno games, just don't fuck up. You know, it's easy. It's easy, guys. You just don't fuck up. Oh no, my workers are unhappy, so they're going to go on strike. Oh well, I was just not going to have unhappy workers. I'll give my workers their needs. And not grow beyond my means of providing them. Skill issue, Kevin, yep. The strikes will be 100%. Yes, Kevin, unfortunately so. Mountain Kingdom is actually not terrible for our start. But part of the problem is last time I played, the world map was very undertuned, and you were not getting very many resources from it in comparison to like what your city was producing. So I understand that may have been fixed, but I'm too hesitant to go with Mountain Kingdoms as a result of that. Bonuses on the world map, like, do not matter to me. Because I'm stuck in the launch version, mentally. So it's probably going to be Industrial Titan, or Age of Enlightenment. You know? Where is... Guess I'm voting age, yeah. This hurts so bad, so I think I just have to go with Titan. I think I just have to go with Titan. Oh yeah, that was the old New Centauran flag. What have we got here? Hang on. Okay. I think this one's probably the closest. Do about that. And what have we got for bears? I think that's unfortunately probably the best I can do if I want to do an NCRS flag. Yeah. And military game sounds funny. It does, yes. Bear or the bull. Mm-hmm. And then put a little to the side and up. Is there like a half decent brown I could go with? It'll have to do. Alright, and then difficulty. I'm just going to leave it on normal. But I am going to turn off scientific supremacy because that's really just kind of timed victory. So. You can change all the social pillars at any time. They'll trigger temporary anarchy while people get accustomed to the new norms. Was that in the game last time I played? Yeah. That's fine. I'm not too worried. I can figure it out as I go. One thing I'm going to figure out is actually where my camera is going to go. So, we'll see. What does our world map look like? We won't know for the most part. After the Versailles tragedy, America fell into armed insurrections, flared up throughout the country. Civil war. Yeah, so our starting situation is referred to as... Oh yeah, this is loud as shit, ain't it? I'm sorry. It should be fine now. So we're the NCR, basically, yeah. And here we are, land of the free, home of the brave, except for now, it's the land of the dead and home of despair. Governor, if we are going to make this place our home, I suggest we start gathering scattered survivors from people if we are going to build a city. So yeah, no, the premise of this game is World War I did not end. Everyone kept fighting into 1919 until basically all of society collapses. Like everyone simultaneously suffers a Russian Revolution. That descends into anarchy. You know, that is the premise of the game, and I actually just love that. You know, everyone's all like, "Oh, I mean to make sure our games have a realistic premise and story." No, fuck it. Just do this. This is peak. This is peak storytelling. You know, less is more in this case. It is. It is. Alright, so I'm going to pause right away. So yeah, now we do have the world map here. I don't have sight of anything. We have a bunch of others. Yeah. You can roughly guess where they are. So, we have the Amazonians, they're in South America, it's obvious. The Buryati tribe. The Yugoslav kingdom, I'm going to hazard a guess that they started in Southern Europe here. We have the People's Movement, which I'm just going to hazard a guess is China. We have the Zulu Empire, which I'm going to hazard to guess is Southern Africa. The Buryati tribes, that would be middle of Russia, right? Buryati in central Russia, yeah. So basically, World War I was truly the end of all wars, or at least for modern civilization. No. Because the moment any new civilization manages to spring up, what do? We start fighting. We start fighting again. So our only competitor is Brazil, yeah, basically. I remember transoceanic navy being a bit of a bitch and like trying to manage the supply line over that. So I'm not going to be threatened by anyone else for quite a while, because the AI will likely take some time to sort its shit out too. So my first move is definitely going to be onto the Sierra Madre, and I'm going to just try and push as far south as possible to secure their resources. Yeah, this is the region of the Sierra Nevada. It is considered a desert. Just in case anyone wanted to question that. You know. This is a desert. There's mountains up here. Plains. Rural. Yep. Where's the Great Basin it up? Yeah. Are you sure it's not polar? No. That's what the Amazonians have to deal with. You know, Voron? It's down there. Polar Andes, yep. But, yeah, so we are given a city map. With a shitload of resource deposits all just kind of scattered around here, and other buildings that we'll be slowly reclaiming, interacting with, and doing things. The game kind of gives you a storyline to help get you started, where like we're going to, I think, contact like remnants of the old government and maybe either align with them or some rebels, and like eventually try and then thusly establish ourselves as the new legitimate government. Reno surprisingly does not have Lake Tahoe. Yeah, I don't even know where, like, what this map is based on. I'm gonna be real here. Like, I'm just looking in the general area around Reno. And, like, I don't see shit here, Captain. This map is not, as far as I can tell, remotely based on anything in reality. You know? Oh, come on, Voron. I'm sure the devs for this were not Swedish. So there's at least the slightest bit of correct climate modeling for the New World, you know? Unlike the Swedes, who cannot comprehend jungle mountains. God. Alright. But yeah. This is American Rebellion near Sacramento. Yeah, it does, kind of. Like, it does kind of give more of, like, kind of Southern California vibes, if I'm to be real. Alright. I spooked Stoney one time where I said we can get to 11 or 11 in the afternoon. Only? What the fuck, Dusty? Are you telling me the UV can't just get to like 14 in Texas? Or some shit? Like... Because I've had an 11 before. I think the highest I've ever seen was like maybe a 12. It is a local thing specifically. That's 11 UV where I'm at. Fair enough. Fun fact, Reno is New Reno in the fall post-apocalypse. Basically. Alright. So yeah, we have our resources at the top here. I do need to move my camera, but I have yet to figure out exactly where I'm going to put my camera. I know I have the dashboard. Let's see. I just want to double check. Okay, I think my best spot is the bottom right. That seems like it's going to block the least amount of shit. Yeah. Well, I'll just grab the alerts. No. Grab that there. Grab this here. Air dry map is when there's so many bodies of water on it. Yeah. It just is. Alright. So, the basic concept here is there's going to be 4 tiers of workforce, if I remember right. And okay, so in addition to this, I'm going to need to make sure we have a road. I'm trying to remember about how much I want to build. Each one of these 3 laborers, I'm just going to follow the tutorial since it has been a while. And just reach 120. I can build basic road here. Dirt road. And if memory serves, everything of course needs to be connected to the town center. So we'll do that. Now, you might notice here that there are like development points. And as you know, development points. The more you build in a city, like that's actually how you kind of progress. If I open the research and development panel here, you'll note that there's 15 levels for all these individual types. Hello, Sandy. Yes. Hello. Meow. Yes, you're good. Go. Do you really have to immediately step on my headphone cable? Hi. Anyway. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, we basically get development points by building, which allows us to unlock more things. And I actually want to praise this system because it kind of makes sure you... Oh, good lord, Sandy, you need to let go of that there. Because it kind of makes you build a lot wider. There isn't really... You don't really have the capacity to do tech rush, you know? Like... I can't just plop down a shitload of research labs and try and like min-max and quickly get to like through housing stuff. I just have to build more housing. Oh, I wanna unlock more housing things. I build more housing. It forces like a certain amount of width in play that otherwise like a lot of games like this don't end up with. Because like sometimes a lot of the strategies in Anno games is basically having the minimum amount of workforce possible. Sandy, go. Oh. Sandy. God's sakes. Ugh. Just sit somewhere, please. You can be wherever you want. That's fine. Alright. So yeah. I'm just gonna play. Negative cash flow. We'll be fine. Are we actually have income again? How was the movie? It went terribly, Zern. I just spent about 2 hours going over it. You know? God, I really need some better lighting in here. It's also going to be on my to-fix list. Like I said, the office is still under construction. But yeah. So we'll increase speed. Morale. Alright. So here we can see their needs and luxuries and what they actually want. They would like the following, or rather they need the following. They need bread and vegetables. Oh, Lord. Sandy. Sit. I don't care. If you're going to be here, you need to sit. So yeah, we're going to need to probably start work on that. So we can get the farm for veggies. We need to also get them bread, which unsurprisingly requires grain. We will also then need bakery. We need to reach agricultural development level 2. Very good. Fair enough. Ideally, they'll also need to get newspapers and clothes. Yep. Produces vegetables, produces wood, produces grain, produces cotton. We'll need agriculture 1 to get cotton. And I think it's wood for newspapers. Do I have access to any public service buildings? I do have a fire station, so I can give them that, which I think is their safety need. Yep. That requires electricity, though, so fuck that for now. I don't actually have electricity, so I just want to go through and see what I can actually give them. You know? Transport buildings. Yep. Utilities. Utility 1. Yep. Okay. So now there's basically nothing I can do right now to actually give people things outside of some vegetables. Now, I should have some resources in my stockpile to start the game with. I hope. If I can remember, yeah, the inventory overview. So, like, yeah, we won't have to worry about it just yet. Remaining handguns. And we'll get a lot more resources as we go. I don't know why it says I have a balance of 30. Because I'm definitely not actually producing any vegetables right now. Which is fine. I should, however, definitely probably start working on some wood. Let's get that started. Because it takes wood to build a forester. Because of course it would. Oh yeah. I also have the capacity to start salvaging these buildings. Anything close enough. I have population now, so I can actually use that. We basically just employ people to do salvage work. Which will get us more resources. Including vegetables and stuff to feed people with. Okay, we've reached a new development level already of something. Military one. I don't even know how. I haven't built anything that actually gives us that. I apparently have a +10 income of that. Oh, yeah. I would like to get some wood sorted. It'll be a long way until we can call this proper home, but it's a start, Governor. I'm thankful. Focus on the production area is rich in wood. This area is rich in wood, guys. This area is rich in wood. At any rate. Over here is probably fine. I just kind of need to keep salvaging these things and actually clear them out. So I can put down like 4 things. Compared to the rest of the desert, it may very well be. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. I thought I was salvaging this. But yeah, I'd like to get a couple of foresters out here. down this. Actually, I'll probably extend this road over here. Alright, so now that I have buildings that actually produce things, what I'm going to do is put down... is it a transport? Yeah, the depot. Boom. So, the depot will pick things up and drop things off to local buildings. So, they will now produce wood. Wood which will then get picked up and brought to the depot and added to my stockpile. There's instant transit between all depots, so, you know, that's always nice. And there's also upgrades and stuff. We'll get to those later. I think yeah, because I think I can only do production. Okay, I can't actually do production per cycle already. Nice. Alright. I wasn't sure if I'd unlock that later. At any rate, showing production buildings. So, clothier, weaver. Where is... right, there's also heavy industry buildings. I forgot about that. So this produces plywood and lumber. No, I don't actually have enough. I love that it just gets big. Alright. Damaged building. No. I'm just here for salvage. Keep collecting. There's some quartz. I can theoretically only salvage so much. Like, I do have, you know, like here at the top we can see not our population, but our unemployed. So, I have 89 available laborers. You know? If I mouse over it, you can see their total 180. So I've employed 100 people. Yeah, I forgot about the heavy industry tab. To be fair, that's because for the most part I don't really need it yet. Outside of, I forgot about the lumber. Alright. So yeah, each one of these is 4. So I've definitely overbuilt the wood, but I knew I had to overbuild the wood for some reason. I'm just not sure why. I think it's probably because I have to do a lot more than I think I do. I think it's probably because I actually just need a shitload more. Like, building in general, so I'll probably aim for that. Materials are rolling in. Soon we can start building unnecessary buildings. Thanks to materials we've gathered, we can now focus on food production. Do not let our men eat their belts because of hunger. Trust me, no matter what seasoning, with the belts don't taste good. Yeah, we're gonna need to produce bread. Alright. Okay. So, farm, bread. Let's get some of this started over here. It's not necessarily bread that I'm going to produce from those, but, you know, it is still quite helpful. range here. The depot does have limited range and all that. So we'll have to build another depot over here anyway. I kind of expected I'd need two because the one depot is going to get overloaded pretty quickly, especially as I build more of the lumber yards here. Because it turns out I need more plywood. Who'd have thunk it? Because it is our like main building resource, so. I've still a load of mushrooms in the cavern there, yeah. I can also theoretically produce lumber if I need it, but I don't need it right now. So, produce lots of plywood. And then, as a result of that, we're developing. I already have agriculture 1, which is the cotton field, which I'm going to want. Because I also need to produce clothes for people. Ah, yes, but that requires water. What have I got for utilities yet? Okay. Alright. So utilities work off of a distributor. I think the only main difference is that you can't really store utilities. So this just produces 270, and any and all distributors can pull from that pool and distribute them to anything in range. So I build this water tower and get this cotton farm water. Simple as. How much? That consumes 5 grain. This produces 9 grain. Give it one of those, and that's good. And that produces a total of 14 flour. Of which only 3 is needed, so. That much. Now, none of our buildings are actually working because I do not have enough people. So, let's start by sorting that the fuck out. Sound good? I actually need to do that. And then I need to remember how to demolish things. That way I can fit in another labor house. And then put a nice little road along here. And we still have a housing shortage. Some things never change. Yep. Well, we don't have a housing shortage. But yeah. Increase class morale. Build propaganda bureaus. Yes, so I'll need to try and increase my class morale here. Easier said than done, mind you. But yeah, I can pause a couple of buildings here to try and improve things. I need to try and get these guys happier. Yep. Clothes, newspapers. Theoretically, utilities. I get a nice power substation here going, and a windmill. It doesn't really matter where the windmill goes, but you know, just enough. And then I can put down a fire station. That will give everyone in here safety, which will start getting us some actual class morale. Because, yeah, our immigration rate's kind of garbage until that can go up. Red newspapers. Insufficient workforce. Fine. We don't technically need the cotton yet since I don't have any clothiers. You secured the much needed food supply, but as regarding challenges appear when it comes to try basic needs, trying to fulfill them as soon as possible. I've lost sight of Grant again. No matter. We have more important things to deal with. Our water supply is at an end, Governor. We need to do something about it fast. Ensure building is working. Water pumps, 1 out of 2. Yeah, I need to build a second water pump, supposedly. Here, yeah. Alright. Well, we enjoy this isolation, we can't go on like this. We need to know what's going on around us, so we can take proper steps in securing our city. In order to the men help us, for a price, of course. Yeah, you know, construct a market and start trading with people. And development level 3. Yeah, so agriculture 2. Reached transport 3. Nice. Generally speaking, we do unlock a lot of these upgrades for buildings by, you know, getting the developments. So, no manufacturing yet. Soup kitchen for fish soup. Yeah, fish I'm a little bit worried about. We'll see how things go, though. Alright, we can re-enable that. Because then, hopefully... Yeah, I can do Weaver and then... Alright, so that requires electricity. That's something I'd originally set up out here. Yep. 9, perfect. It also requires electricity. Nice power substation here. Oh, the building's fine. Provide logistical support. Yeah, no, I am admittedly just going to give this a shitload of transport trucks. You can only have 3 of a type, so yeah, these are going to get overloaded fairly quickly. Yeah, that starts getting us some basics. Although, man, do I need another windmill? And apparently I also need a shitload more people anyway for tax base. Or no, I just need to provide them luxuries, right? Luxuries determine their taxes. Which is why, one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Yeah. Because I know I'm like, I know I need luxuries. I don't necessarily remember why, but I knew I needed them. Cellulose. Paper mill. Goddamn printing press. Apparently then I need a shitload more electrics. Let's go windmills. Of course, the more windmills I build, I get level ups available. More utility I get, and in theory, then the faster I develop along the utility line. So yeah, you can see transport and utilities and agriculture going the fastest. Alright. And I'm starting to collect some breakthroughs, but if I remember right about breakthroughs, I basically want to hold on to them until the super late game. So. Alright. You can level up your town center and select a new social pillar. So, we have a choice of union, pacifism, and nation state. Like each level we get, you know, new things. Oh yeah, I remember the anarchy button. So production of labor needs. So that's vegetables and bread. And +5 immigration interest. There is +1 production of tier 1 resources and +10 development points. For I forget what that actually is. I can't actually see because honestly that's fucking tiny. And nation state. So that one's roads. Remember that. And +5 at 15% infantry attack. Ammunition on land. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to double check here. Right there, I can move it. Is there any way I can see battalion stats before I commit to things? Because, truth be told, I don't remember things, right? New save. New Reno, baby. So what I'm actually going to do is pop open like this. Or no, I go to load. And I just want to check what the like unit stats are. I just want to have a look. And also we can see my much larger city and see what we'll eventually build into. Garrisons aren't the most potent killing machines, yeah. And they suck. I just want to double check infantry attack, because, like, in my memory, I'm like, okay, the different unit types have very different stats, and you want to use them in very specific ways. And I just want to make sure that infantry, you do not attack with them. I should never try and attack with infantry. I think there's, like, some argument for that against, like, the neutrals in the early game, you know? Because everywhere that isn't ruled by one of the big six is, you know, basically ruled by Total War version of Rebels. So but I just want to check my thought process, because otherwise, like, conceptually, I really need to go with the nation state if it actually is infantry that is really good. But I'm like 99% sure that is not the case. Go to the world map, please. Yeah, this is the empire we managed to build last time. So I have the navies. If I remember right, yeah, I tried to logistics my way across the Americas and ran into Hell's.
Go ahead.
Traits, 250. Okay, that's the thing. Militia. Okay. So, damage Earth land and damage. Okay. Never mind. Apparently I might have to go back to my city and then figure out where the hell I put my barracks at. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah, 1 to 3. 4 to 15. 4 to 8, yeah. Six. Long range, mid range, yeah. Right. So yeah, you need food rations and artillery shells, but you definitely want the field guns. Right. I remember this now. I kind of even remember the battle screen. Yeah. You need diesel for tanks, which are very good because they have 30 health. Basic tanks. They have a shitload of health. They don't deal quite as much damage, but you know, shitload of health. The artillery can also attack ships, and nothing can attack the air. Okay. Always cheap and half decent to use on screen. Yeah, that's fair. I think I vaguely remember infantry just being used as like basically military police and occupation forces. That's really all I can remember of them, though. Okay. There, that resolves a missing piece of memory. Good. All right. I'm gonna take a quick bath and break in BRB. think additional infantry deck is worthwhile unless you're anticipating using them frequently to put down revolts, or you want to use them to beat down other infantry, so these tanks are like sensible. Yeah. So, that's fine. We'll take pacifism. Enact policy. And so our town hall gets that little bit more fancy. The more development points I get, we like do eventually get that. So, yeah, is there a political alignment here? And then is this? Let's set up the flag. Very good. So yeah, we'll eventually get, you know, yeah, no, it's not development. Sorry, it's population that lets us get these. All right. Good stuff. So all labor needs are met. Theoretically, we have enough newspapers right now. We definitely don't. And we definitely need more clothing as well. That's fine and kind of even expected. Oh yeah, I remember this now. There's one problem I always had with housing, which is there's like a higher development level you basically just kind of eventually unlock. And then it also starts like costing some bricks. That's fine though. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna instead focus on here. So the cellulose factory produces 19. 12. Okay. 6. So I can just straight up build a second freaking place. I just need to go to the upgrade and... Okay, yeah, I need manufacturing 2 for that. Alright. Well, I have 19 cloth available to me. And each clothing roll takes 3, so... Looks like this is probably reaching its limit. Again, not a huge shock. Another depot down. Get 3 additional transports. Driving out. Let's go. Eventually we'll unlock better roads. Gravel roads. Alright, gravel roads actually about cheap. There it is. Yeah, that's free. Alright. Okay, so it does look like in pretty much all cases I have like capacity to build a shitload of fishing along these rivers. That's good. That was something I was worried about. Oh no, looks like we're good. Alright. See, how are we doing? We have enough. And supposedly still have enough. In practice... printing press. that should be then exactly enough paper. Introduction cycle. Perfect. So I guess there's enough clothing and enough newspapers for everyone here. Theoretically, I can also get clinic and elementary school. That requires more civics and public service buildings here. We already have access to the elementary school, and so we will use it. Yeah, we need civics 3 for that. But yeah, we can already see morale is getting nice and high. 69, nice. Higher immigration and higher tax income. We still have a decent number of people looking to come in. I'm going to need bricks soon. Is that heavy industry? Brickwork. Clay and coal, as well as water and electricity. No water tower nearby. Fuck. I thought I had put it. Oh yeah. Well, fair enough. Whatever. Well, let's put down another water tower here. Anyway, so it's going to need clay and it's going to need coal. So we'll have to do some mining. Okay. Okay, it does kind of locate these. Put those down. And then is a gravel pit, limestone quarry, oil pump, clay pit. Oof, these are far. Well, that's slightly annoying. It doesn't really affect things, just a lot of dirt road. Then we'll need the depot service. Good. These faraway mines. And this also needs a water tower. God damn it. Alright. We're good. We have more than enough water. We have enough power. How's the coal mine? Coal mines are working. Good. Let's do loading ramps here as well. There. Get them all going. And there we are. Now we're technically actually producing bricks, which is good. We build more of these. Labor high rises. chaotic, it's fine. And that's all the bricks I got. Okay. This one needs to be torn down. It's obviously kind of a really bad place. Instead put 2 there. And it's more here. There. Alright, that'll let us get some more people. Alright. And, time to finally build our market. That requires 25 bricks. Well, we're working on it. Oh, goddamn. Looks like the utility hookup probably overloaded. Each of these can only deal with like a certain amount of connections, so oftentimes they'll need more utility hookups. I'm just trying to get, you know, the basics thrown together here. Yeah, there's pretty clearly still some problems. An additional depot is required. Alright. Anyway, it shouldn't be a problem with production, I assume. Apparently it will be. I need additional clay pits. Very well. Oh, there's a fire. I'll get to that. I'm pretty sure it's fine. The second bell has rung. I think it actually is not okay. I'm gonna pause. Alright, what have we got over here? What's going on? Oh, yes, that's right. That's gonna be a problem. Gonna lose the grain farm by the looks of it. So, that's something else I forgot about. I do need a fire station in the industrial district. You guys also have upgrades to things like your service area, right? Yeah. Cool. Alright, so no power substation nearby. Alright, we saved the farm. Anyway, the moment I heard that second bell ring, I knew I was actually kind of in trouble. I'm like, I only have one fire station. Negatively. God damn it. Can't pause until that because I don't need it. Yeah, we end up with so many of these windmills. Admittedly, I haven't checked in, but I assume coal's fine. Yeah, we've got plus 14 on coal. So, not really a problem. And we now have 15 clay. Good. Okay. So now, local traders, I believe, come through here. We need to set resources to buy or sell. And also, it's time to upgrade the town center. So we now have reforms, commerce, and discipline. In this case, I know the answer is 100% going to be reforms, because it's just some type of development point, your choice, and then you get 1 army bonus. In this case, you know, logistics, or do I want my fleet or armies to be able to attack more often? And anyone who has read anything on the World of Wars, or really any military theory in general, knows exactly which bonus we pick. And the answer is 100% and always will be logistics. Logistics wins wars. May my soldiers have an ice cream ship. Alright. So yeah. So we do have some negatives, by the way, starting as well. Yeah, we have Implosion of Order, which we need to complete our starting quest to get rid of. And I believe that will the bonuses and penalties there actually change with that. So that's something to think about. Alright, so as far as housing building goes, manufacturer high-rise, cool. Truth be told, what I'm going to want to buy right now is probably concrete. Assuming I can fucking find it. Here we go. Oh no. Alright. In that case, buy artillery shells? I forget what the other thing I needed for them was. It's diesel for tanks, but I know I need artillery shells. Let's just buy them. Bravery wins battles, strategy wins operations, logistics wins wars. Exactly. Ah yes, we have now discovered South Africa. And the Zulu Empire. Yep. The traders will, every so often, just kind of give me information on a random distant tile. I don't know why I can't. Yeah, whatever. The answer is, I could just buy artillery shells, please. You know? So we have Industrial Titan. Right, risk, that's fine. Yeah, so there's also the trade port. Which I would not mind having up and running. As that will speed up the rate that I trade with people. Fairly dramatic. Ah yes, but of course they will require 30 manufacturers in order to do. And also a shitload of electrical power. Ah, finally! Gentlemen, I present to you the coal power plant. The glorious marvel of modern engineering is finally available to us once again. Unfortunately, it also requires some manufacturers, so we're going to get started on those. I think. Not many. But, you know, just a couple. Unfortunately, they're probably not going to be happy, so... yeah, they have needs that I cannot meet. Some fish and some meat. That's easy enough. And they'll need water. Also, actually easy enough. Volanos. Once again, purchase. Alright, so as far as military buildings go, theoretically one that I'm going to want is a military base. Just technically get us started. Ah yeah, food rations is the other thing I'm going to want to buy. Canned meat. Rifles. Yeah. Let's get ourselves well stocked on whatever we can here. Okay. Yeah, so they're gonna need. I'm gonna need to try and get them things. Like they'll need fish and meat. Those are easy. You know. In the grand scheme of things, anyway. Necessities are usually fairly easy, so. Alright. No depots nearby, damn it. Anyway, yeah. Since they're the needs of the next, like, tier, they are conveniently worked by the last tier. Transport buildings. As for increasing my global stock limit, don't need to worry about that for now. Tingus, alright. Chief Wajapi of the Amazonians. And we've learned about Sichuan. The Buriati tribes, yep. Alright. A water tower nearby? Sure. God damn it. Keep trying to build the wrong one. Alright, that's sorted. So anyway, that gets fish, that gets meat without any issue. They have like some of their basic luxuries, which is all they technically need. And there are some of their things met. Although realistically speaking, are you telling me I still don't have the like clinic? Civics 3. Huh. It should be fine. Although some repairs will be needed. All's well. Alright, so clearly buying isn't going anywhere. I'm gonna mark the plywood for sale. Maybe they'll buy that. Alright. We'll need field guns, the military resource. Military? Yeah. Alright, it says vehicle factory. Field guns just require steel. Yep. It does require 75 manufacturers, though, which is going to be a little bit of a frustration. But nothing we can't handle. Oh, goody, I have the manufacturer high-rise now. There we are. That finally got the trade going. Florida. Nice. Alright. Alright, we're technically coastal, yes. We are technically coastal. Like, as far as I think literally everywhere is technically coastal. That's like a conceit of this game. No, it's not. It's not true. There's these regions. But I don't think you can start in those regions. I think everywhere you start, like, your capital is always coastal. I think. Alright. This region's product. So what does this region produce? 30 vegetables, 90 crude oil, 40 natural gas. Ooh, nice. Ah, that's why I got military upgrade. Okay. I think that would, yeah, okay. But that does give me oil to work with. I'll have a lot of it. Nice. Genetics to Campos. Alright, well, I don't see that yet, so that's fine. Alright. You're not a ton of luxuries right now, but okay, looks like I am in need of more clothes, more newspapers. We're actually short both bread and vegetables as well. Alright. Let's look into that, shall we? Zeal, Governor, Smuggler told me all we need to know. I'd like to meaning crucial importance. After assembling your advisors, you start off the meeting. Hayes reports that the central government has been reduced to nothing and that their troops are barely holding any land around the capital. Some of their outposts are scattered across the land, defying separatists and others who would seek complete annihilation of the government. Meanwhile, separatists are advancing towards the capital as we speak. They're loosely grouped up, but they possess the means and firepower to topple the government. However, a single defeat might cause them to break off their alliances and look into their own. In our vicinity, there is a separatist camp that holds several high-ranking officials, while on the opposite side, there's a fortified town that holds government troops. Without order, chaos thrives, as we can see firsthand. If we can help the government soldiers to achieve victory here, we might even change the course of war. We should contact whoever's in charge of the fortified town. Nonsense. For a long time, the government has been barely holding the land together. It was just a matter of time before it imploded. The tragedy was just the catalyst, it's the thing in motion. I suggest we try to negotiate with separatists and see what they have to offer. Now we will help the government. Your decision to support the rightful government has earned you the sympathy of the people. They know you value order and that they will feel safe under your leadership. They brought you a gift. It doesn't take much for Mitchell to contact the man in charge of the garrison. After several days, the man in charge comes to the city with his security detail. The look on their faces betrays them. Futility, desperation. After exchanging pleasantries, the commander informs you of the situation at hand. His soldiers are in dire need of your help. He promises that he will do everything he might to repay the favor, should you help him. The strips of his look painfully thin. Their cheekbones visible, and that's not a good sign. We should try and supply them with some quality food so their complexion, along with their morale, too, improves, so people benefit from it as well. Produce fish, 30. Yeah, that won't take long. Alright. Produce meat as well. Anyway, ultimately, my real goal is to produce field guns. So, I need 40 field guns. That'll be handled. Now, in order, of course, to produce 40 field guns, I'm going to need iron, and then I'm going to need a smelter. Steel, iron, coal, yep. Workforce is only 10 laborers for this, so it's pretty simple. Jesus, he's already annexed Micaiah. Oh lord, he is expanding fast. Alright. Balls of steel, which we had more like. As troops are facing supply issues, their guns are barely functioning, their ammunition is low. We can help them out and at the same time improve our armament production. Win-win situation. Yeah, we need to produce ammunition and produce handguns if memory should serve. Anyway, I have other things I need to work on right now, of course. I gotta get to it, but because there's rifles. Rifles are steel and rubber. Oh no, we need handguns, which are just lumber and steel. We need cellulose and brass. Smelter, brass is copper and zinc. Alright. Okay. So let's start with an iron mine. Or two. I won't say no. That's really the closest? Jesus fucking Christ. zinc mine. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that gets me brass for the ignition. I will need lead and chemicals for artillery shells. Oh, that's fine. I should be buying enough. Yeah. The main problem is it's going to be another 100 manufacturers. Actually, I'm not doing too bad on that. Alright, 100 manufacturers to get our basic military buildings going. And, you know, gonna need probably another depot out here. Simple as. We got iron and coal there. Of course, I don't have any of the mines actually set up yet, so try and get that done. Depot. Right, that solves the iron issue. Alright. That guy's going ham, yeah. Like, he understands Patagonia. So he's got already pretty much all of South America for control. I have to get the Sierra Madre. And quickly. Like, I need those artillery pieces going. Good. We're getting the field guns in. Alright, this also needs a depot in order to actually supply it. He's really snoozing. I'm apparently really snoozing is the problem. Training is underway. We have at least delivered the resources required for training the first thing. Yeah, the Army General must advance in rank for a new trait can be selected. That's fine. So I don't think I can actually deploy it until, yeah, because it says here every unit's deployed, until something's actually trained. Alright, transport's coming along nicely. Level 6. Yeah, we now have the trade ports. Level 5. Cement factory, concrete mixer, limestone quarry, large power substation. Nice. I'm glad they put in larger substations. I remember that being a change log at some point, and that was really good. I barely have a fucking town going. I'm just getting panicked by how quickly everyone else is annexing regions and trying to militarize really quickly. Yep. Please deploy. My only goal at this point is basically Panama. Like, I'm pushing for it. The Hudson Lowlands, yeah. Like, there's not going to be anything out here, and I've got to stop him from pushing through here, you know? Alright.
Loud and clear. Copy.
Launch the attack. Alright. Get first shot, of course. We failed to conquer the region, but that's fine.
Go ahead.
We dealt significant damage to the garrison. We took some pretty significant damage too. But, Jesus Christ, I can't believe there's 4 garrisons there. I didn't even check because I didn't think about it. We can wait out until, like, the second artillery piece is ready. And we should be good then. You know? Let's start.
Loud and clear.
Unable to reinforce the army because we need 19 field guns. Okay. There, reinforce. Good, and that also heals them. Deploy. And fully repaired now. Yeah, once we're deployed on the map, like, Sierra Madre should fall. Yeah, they haven't been able to regenerate yet, and I now have 2 units, so... we have long range, so we get to attack first, and they should actually just die. Yep. Oh, there's nothing to fight back against. We marched into the region's capital. Apparently there's another garrison force? I don't know. I don't know. I guess that was just some replay. Alright. And there's Yucatan. Anyway. Not bad. So yeah, you have 2 militia defending currently.
Go ahead.
So yeah, Yucatan is easy. As for how much supply we'll actually be able to manage from Sierra Madre, who knows. 30 fruit, 70 gold, 50 dye, and 10 civics. 30 grain, 40 grain. Lots of fruit. So what does this produce? Gold, okay. I wouldn't mind getting Mesa Verde for, you know, the coal. That's for sure.
Stand by.
But truth be told, seize the Yucatan. Let's go. I don't care about your defenses. You will not survive 2 artilleries. Yep, they're dead. No, apparently not. Oh yeah, they had those machine gun emplacements. That's right. Those are a thing. That's
Loud and
fine.
clear.
We took some damage since those defensive placements got to fire back. Or they're not really
Stand by.
They're weird. We didn't even take half damage, so we can go again. What I'd like to see is a city here. I'm trying to figure out how to cancel. There we are. Alright. Yeah, just take the stuff back. These guys needed reinforcing if possible. Like, I'm far more worried about trying to get them reinforced.
Go ahead.
They're still on cooldown, so
Loud and clear. Affirmative.
launched another attack. So yeah, 90 HP on their anti-militia. They still have 3 garrison. God, that is seemingly impossible to saw through. Alright, I'm clearly making a mistake attacking like that. So let's say I wanted to build this. No, it doesn't. I'm trying to figure out like the best way to deal with it, but I can't seem to.
Go ahead.
I think in general I might just need more artillery. Maybe we need tanks.
Stand by.
Like, I think the problem is just damage versus land 34, they have 90 health. I think literally next attack we might actually get a kill. You know? God, I need more field guns. I also apparently need ammo, which never started getting produced. To be fair, I don't think I ever got a brass smelter set up, so that tracks. Oh yeah. By the way, I don't know. Just make like 500 field guns. I don't give a flying fuck. Like, I'm just gonna need field guns. Smaller one in here. Is this thing overloaded? Looks like it might. There you go. Yeah, we still have 55 extra 1,000. Alright, so this production is going to do brass. From zinc and copper. What upgrades do we have, theoretically? Production per cycle, yeah. We need to reach military development level 6 if we can. Alright. Yeah, this guy's already got, like, effectively fully built out armies, so... As we can see. Damage versus land 90 is pretty solid. Alright. I think as a general rule I just need maybe more factories building more vehicles, you know? I just want to check here. Things like steel. Okay, I still have plus 13. So, I think I'm on the right track with that statement. I just need to get more vehicular factories operational. And how? Alright. Just get producing, please. Alright, I theoretically also have a regular factory. Okay, that's what that's producing now. No, yeah, that's better. Yeah, produce handguns here. So, smelter. Okay. Green, green, green. So this should be working. I really don't know why it's not working. I think it's because literally by setting this so high, basically all the steel just kind of gets dumped into the one and not into the other. How much does it actually take to produce these? Like, I know it's steel, but it doesn't actually tell me. So.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, they don't like us because we're different. Fair enough. Reinforce, reinforce. Okay. I just need 6 here. Go. Alright. But yeah, try and get this stuff trained as quick as we can. I think hopefully soon. I hope. I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's starting to get some production now. Yeah. We can get this going, I hope. So, I just want to double check here. Trade local, trade finalize. Oh. Apparently I also reached some new development levels. No shock there. Yeah, military 4. Military 6 is huge. Since that's where we get some tools on the vehicle factory. This is fine. The work on was great. Yeah, that's what this game's really all about. There's a lot of work on it. Is it dinner time, dear? Alright. Oh, Lord. Unfortunately, that's where I'm going to be hanging up my headphones for the day, though. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in for my first return stream. Streams are now going to be a daily thing, by the way. Or at least I endeavor to make them daily again. For the foreseeable future. And I'm so sorry, Hayden. Because you know what that means. That means probably not much in the way of dotes. But, well, it's okay. I'm also going to make sure to, like, upload these VODs to YouTube. I swear. I swear. The VODs are going up on YouTube. Alright. But with that in mind, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I've been your host, Kelvin. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.